Hello and welcome back to another video, and today I have an absolutely epic, Orcust, what's it called, Ogdoadic deck profile for you guys. So Orcust Ogdoadic is my take on the Ogdoadic deck. I think this is better than the Invoked one personally. I don't love the Invoked one. I think that this, like, really pushes Orcust to the next level. I love machine decks, I love Orcust, so this is, like, great for me too. But yeah, Ogdoadic basically provides Orcust with the ability to generate some insane snowbally advantage, and because of the fact that it provides you with the extra bodies that you need when extending an Orcust. So yeah, this deck is incredibly consistent, incredibly powerful, and as you saw, it OTKs like kind of really well. So without further ado, be sure to smash the like button, comment down below what you guys think of Ogdoadics in general, if they're good, bad, just to let me know down below. I'll be sure to respond to all of your comments, and without further ado, let's get into the video. So yeah, triple Gearsu is obviously just absolutely broken in the deck. It sends your Nightmare, it sends whatever you need, and then it generates a token for you to play with. Something that's really cool now because of the Ogdoadics is that the token, you can make a Link Hero, tribute the Link Hero, bring back, like, I don't know, a Lariat or something. It's just really great. Gearsu is mandatory if you're in any Orcust deck in general, but I just feel like it's insane in this one. Triple Orcust Nightmare. Now, Nightmare is the best one. It's a mandatory 3 of. Drawing this is now even good, because if you open Nightmare Snake Rain, that's like the most busted hand you can have. Nightmare Snake Rain. It's insane. If you guys want to see a combo tutorial for that, by the way, let me know down below, because I will do that. But yeah, Nightmare and Snake Rain is, oh my god, it's beautiful. You know, like, it just generates so much advantage. And yeah, Orcust Nightmare is just great. Triple card, like triple 3 of mandatory, definitely for sure. Double Orcust Symbol Skeleton. Now, 2 is really good in the grind game. 1 is too little, and yeah, I just really think 2 is great. A double World Legacy World Wand. I find myself going for Wand actually less and less, but still having the 2 is really nice. So I do like having 2 World Wand in the deck. Finally, our Orcust spells and traps for Galatea. We have the 1 Babble, the 1 Return, and the 1 Crescendo. Babble makes everything a quick effect. You're most likely going to be going for this. Return, obviously, is a draw card, which is really cool, because if you open Gearsu and Return, you can just summon the token, send the token for Return, and draw 2 cards, which is pretty good. Orcust Crescendo is a Negate and Banish, and it's a Search and Engrave, which is really good. All these cards, I think are just like great 3-ofs, and they work with Galatea really well. Well, it's pretty obvious, I would say. But yeah, this is my 13-card Orcust lineup for the Orcust deck. I do think it's quite consistent, quite powerful, and these are the perfect ratios. Next up, for our Ogdoadic cards, we have triple Nayu, the Ogdoadic Remnant. Basically, it's really cool because you can send it from your hand to the graveyard and send a light reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. And then also, if it's normally special summoned, you can add an Ogdoadic spell or a trap from your deck to your hand, which is really great. This card is absolutely amazing, not to mention it has 2000 defense, and it's a dark. It's pretty cool. And basically what you do, you pitch it, and then you can send your, literally anything. You can send, Ogdoadic Curse, you can send Nunu. Nunu's really good because it's basically the same thing as Naya, but Naya is different because Nunu is actually an extender from the graveyard, and instead of sending a light, it sends a dark. But yeah, just when you have normal monsters where you have an Ogdoadic monster, just revive from the grave, and then you can only summon reptile, so you just overlay with whatever you have for like King of the Feral Imps or something. It's a great card, but yeah, most of the time if you're summoning it off of what's it called, Curse, the effects are actually negated, so you're not locked into anything, which is really great. But both of these cards are absolutely amazing. They're your starter cards, and yeah, they're your starter cards that don't even require normal summon. So opening this with a Gearsu is just amazing. Like, it doesn't get better than that. Well, Nightmare Snake Ring. 1 Ogdibus, the Ogdoadic Overload. This is the one card that I would even consider cutting. I think it's the worst one, but it's still good enough to play. It's basically a bad Zeus, but that's bigger, and like is pretty good because Zeus is kind of broken. And yeah, but yeah, it's just a bad Zeus, but this card's pretty great. It sends all monsters instead of spells and traps, and it's only like once per turn. But yeah, no, I really like this card. It requires 3 tributes, which is kind of big, but you know, it does come up. You can spam out monsters in this deck like really easily, so it is worth playing the 1 of. Now, your 2 best Ogdoadic cards in the deck, the 1 Curse and the 1 Alarit. Curse obviously is great because you can tribute a monster, special summon it, then on summon it can special summon another Ogdoadic monster from your graveyard. Absolutely amazing. And then just like when you summon it, just banishes after the one that leaves the field after it leaves, which is great because then it makes your Alarit live. And Alarit, basically you can tribute a monster and special summon it from your grave, same as Curse. And then when it's summoned, you can return up to 2 cards from your banished pile back to the graveyard. And why is this so good? Because as long as you're returning 1, then you can return any other banished card. So you can return your Nightmare, you can return your Skeleton, you can return your like whatever you want. This card's just great for Orcust in general. Like I just really like Curse and Alaric. Both of these cards are like what makes the synergy works. You only need 1 of them, but 1 is more than enough because they're so heavily searchable. Double Ogdoadic Water Lily. Water Lily is just basically a foolish burial for the Ogdoadics, and they basically are all really useful in the graveyard. So yeah, Water Lily, great 2 of, and it's searchable off of Nayu, because Nayu adds an Ogdoadic spell or trap on summon, which is really great. So yeah, double Water Lily, perfect ratio. Triple Snake Rain. Okay, this card is one of the best cards in the deck by far, and the thing is, if they ash your Snake Rain, it's not even that big of a deal, because discarding a card in this deck is so broken. If you discard a Nightmare and they ash the Snake Rain, big deal, you just baited out an ash and your Nightmare's alive. Like, this card, there's nothing bad about it. And then you just send 4 reptiles and they all just have effects that you can just use, and it's just so busted. The synergy in this deck is insane, and I feel like this is the best competitive way to play Orcust now. Personal spicy thing, we have the dangers over here. 1 Danger Nessie, 1 Jackalope, 1 Sushinoko, and double Mothman. I really like these ratios, and having the extra extender, even though we have the Ogdoadics, which is more than enough, like you really don't need to run these. You can cut these out for like droplets in the main deck or something, or hand traps. I just think they're great. They just work really well, and I do quite like having them. The free draw power is just insane. It's a body and a draw. It's a Phantasme on your turn. They're just great. And they're all darks too. Like everything in this deck is either a light or a dark, and you're only going to be summoning the darks because the lights you're usually waiting with it. But yeah, no, this deck is just nuts. Like cool tech card over here, triple Super Poly. Super Poly is really good this format with Dragon Link, shit, all stuff like that. So we do have some Super Poly targets in the extra deck, and obviously it discards a card, which is pretty great. 1 Foolish Burial has another power. 1 of every single card in your deck, well, almost every single monster in your deck has a graveyard effect, and Foolish is just insane. 1 Chaos Dragon Leviner. This is one of the best cards in the deck by far, because you always guaranteed. Always, unless you literally just started the game, you will have either 3 darks, 3 lights, or a mix of them in your group. Like, always. It's so easy to get into your grave that Leviner is just broken, and it's really easy to just hard make the Girsu or something like that, because everything's just level 8 in this deck, which is pretty great. Yeah. 1 Dark Magician along with the 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon for Dragoon. Obviously, Dragoon is insane in this deck, but if Dragoon is too expensive for you, there are budget alternatives. But yeah, if Dragoon is too expensive, then just learn like triple Allure or something like that. I just didn't really want to run Allure. I just prefer this. I love this package in this deck. This package in this deck is probably better than in any other deck. Like, Dragoon is insane in this deck. And 1 Red Eyes Fusion to go with it. That's it for the main deck. On to the extra deck. We have the 1 Predaplan Dragostapelia. Dragostapelia is really good. It requires a fusion monster and a dark monster, which is a super poly target, and has a pretty decent effect too. I do quite like Dragostapelia. We have the 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, just 2 darks, really generic. For super poly targets in general, you can run Mud Dragon. You can really run whatever you think is good for your locals or regional or something, even though regionals are shut down right now, sadly. But yeah, it's really whatever you think is good. It's kind of great. We have 1 Dragoon. Dragoon is insanely busted. It's a level 8, which synergizes with your rank 8 plays. Not to mention the fact that it's just kind of really great. You know, this card is just broken. That's just basically what Dragoon is. Double Dingirsu, the Orcust of the Evening Star. It's good in this deck, attach, non-targeting send. Not to mention you can really easily overlay into it with 2 level 8s. 1 King of the Feral Imps. It's a searcher for a reptile monster, which is pretty cool, but you're mainly running it so you can just overlay away the Ogdoadic Remnant and you'll get out of the lock, which is pretty cool. 1 number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon. This card's good. You can actually make this if you want, but the main reason why we're running this is for our Draglubion and our number 100 Numeron Dragon. It's so easy to make rank 8s in this deck that I believe that just running these cards is just insane. It pushes for game when you really should not be winning it. I really love this. Just making a 9,000 attack Numeron, 3,000 attack Draglubion, and the board just backed up. It's nice. 1 Access Code Talker. Access Code is just a better World Sword, and it breaks your opponent's boards going second. Great card. Double Galatea. 3 is too much, 1 is too little, 2 perfect ratio. 1 Phoenix. Phoenix being able to pop spells and traps is really nice when you need the spell and trap removal. 1 Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh obviously is a great card with Girsu. 1 Predaplan for Tanaconda to make your Dragoon. And that's basically it for the deck. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smash the like button, comment down below what you guys think of the deck. And of course, yeah, Ogdoadics are really cool. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright guys, peace.